I scored 95.3 percentile in MHTCET and I am proud of my score. I know there are people who have got 98, 99, 99.9. Congratulations to those people. But I think that everyone has put in efforts, and even if you ask a person who's got 85 percentile for their opinion, it is very valid. You should be listening to everybody's opinion because even a person with 74, 73 percentile does have a ton of experience that they can share with the juniors who are preparing right now. Hey guys, so in this video I am going to tell you how I scored 95.3 percentile in MHTCET first attempt. Let's go. The first thing that I would like to say is JEE versus CET preparation. To draw a borderline between these two is very important. Now the thing is, since I was already preparing for JEE, it was really easy when I started my CET preparation. The shift was not very hard or difficult for me. The portion was obviously more vast, but concepts and questions were much simpler than JEE level questions. So I would suggest, if you are a JEE aspirant, do start preparing for CET from 12th grade if you actually want to get a good percentile in it. Because if you do very last minute studies, then your portion and your syllabus will be compromised to quite a large extent. Secondly, do not be overconfident. If you are a JEE aspirant and you're finding the questions initially easy, I know that the shift from JEE to CET is a relatively easy one, and everyone usually finds that, oh, these questions are so simple and we can crack this exam. But luckily that was a mistake I did not do. I was never overconfident from the start when I started my CET preparation, because that was a mistake I had already done in JEE. All I'm saying is, start off with a level head and just try to take CET prep as a new chapter in your life rather than just a continuation of a phase that you've already left behind. Now I know that was a bit deep and I'm sorry for that. But the CET portion actually includes a lot of more concepts and chapters than JEE. So in general, the portion is more vast than the mains portion. So I made sure that I was doing proper research before I actually started preparing for CET. Because the stupidest or silliest mistake could be to miss out any chapter and just not be prepared with it. Like, you do not want to miss out on an easy topic which is also high weightage. So I will be providing a list of the chapters that are there for CET, which I used in the description down below, and that really helped me a lot, and it literally saved me from pitfalling, because there are a lot of chapters listed in there that are excluded from mains. So if I wouldn't have referred to any kind of list, I probably would have missed out on a lot of easy topics. Another really important thing to note is that speed is the main deciding factor in the MHTCET exam, because there are 150 questions and only 120 minutes. I practiced strictly with a timer and gave time-bound tests as well. You have to keep time as the main deciding factor during this exam. Now, I cannot emphasize enough on solving PYQs and past year papers, because honestly, I did that, and from my experience, 10 to 20% of the questions are repeated every single year. That's a lot of questions, okay? I had solved all the 2024 and 2025 question papers, and they really helped me because I solved them with a time limit, obviously in the same format as it would have come in the CET paper. Because in the CET paper, because as you all already might be knowing, that the first section is physics and chemistry, and that is a 90-minute allotment, and then the second section is only mathematics, which is another 90 minutes, and then your screen gets locked, which means you cannot go back to the previous section after you have finished those 90 minutes. Then you have to only focus on maths. So when I solved many practice papers, I think it really helped me to gain confidence that I will not kind of run out of time before I finished all the physics and chemistry questions, so that was very helpful. My last and final point is actually very contradictory, but many people have different opinions on this. I'm just gonna mention my opinion, but I think y'all can choose whatever y'all feel most appropriate out of experience. The thing is, most people mention, even the sirs and stuff, that the questions you don't know the answer of. As you know, CET has no negative marking, and that's a big bonus. Like, if you don't know a question's answer, you can still get marks as long as you choose an option and it's correct. So some sirs, they do mention that you shouldn't just guess or anything, just go for either B or C, and I don't know why it's always B and why it's always C. It's never A and B. But what I used, the strategy that I used was logical PYQs, and I actually used a lot of my brain in those. I didn't like to just mark everything one alphabet. I will try to make a video of that in the future as well, but just my opinion to y'all, that try to actually think of something logically, a formula perhaps, or a concept before you actually pick that answer, and not just like, I like the alphabet B, let me choose B. Anyway guys, so that was the end of this video, and I hope y'all picked up on something useful. These are the strategies I pretty much followed throughout my CET preparation, and it was a short phase for me, just spanning over 3 or 4 months. So I hope y'all found this helpful, and see y'all in the next video. Happy studying. Bye.